Distinguished honorable colleagues, before the honorable committee, the DG Naptin and his entourage. You are welcome, DG.
My name is Aladi Baidu. I represent Ardo Polalau and Karin Lamido from Taraba State.
Guest Henry Achibong is my name. I represent Itu, Ibiono Federal Constituency in Akwa Ibom State.
Invited guest, my name is Honorable Musa Mohammed Adamu from Jigawa State. I represent the Kiamba Federal Constituency.
Invited guest, I am Honorable Patrick Aishowere. I represent Urion the Federal Constituency from Edo State.
I am Sergius Ose Ogun. I represent Esan Northeast, Esan Southeast, and I'm from Edo State.
I'm from Imo State.
Invited guest, my names are Honorable Engineer Sani
Member representing the people of Njikoka and our Church of the Federal Constituency and from Anambra State.
I am Honorable Dr. Zainab Gimba. I represent Bamangala Kalabelge Federal Constituency. Mr. Chair, I'm from Borno State. Thank you.
Jafar Abubakar Magaji is my name. I'm representing Mubi North, Mubi South, and my Federal Constituency of Adamawa State.
Before the honorable committee, at the management of Uthman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto State.
My name is Lawal Suleiman Bilbis, and the Vice-chancellor of Uthman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto.
I am Nuruddin Abubakar Belko, Registrar Uthman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto. Thank you.
The liaison officer for Uthman Danfodiyo University, Sokoto, based here in Abuja.
Deputy Chairman by the grace of God of this committee. Thank you.
I represent the good people of Kalkia, Kasada, and Gaya Federal Constituency, and I am from Katsina State. I am the chairman of this honorable committee. Once again, DG, you are welcome. The university and the committee, and here we are today. Vice-chancellor, based on the document you have submitted, our own committee made its own analysis, and the committee discovered a huge disparity in the distribution of manpower in the university. Are you aware of this?
I'm not aware of any disparity, sir.
Thank you. We are the head of legal.
Yes, sir. 11 months, sir.
11 months?
Yes, sir.
Good. Can you tell the committee exactly which date do you assume duty?
This is my 12th, July 2019. This is my 12th month now, sir.
Within this period,
yes, sir,
have you done any recruitment or replacement by any means?
No, sir.
You have not done?
No, sir.
Even replacement?
No replacement, sir. No, sir.
Now, head of legal, please liaise with the Vice-chancellor as I take you through the provision of the Constitution. Look at section 14 subsection 3 of the Constitution. It is stated that the composition of the government of the Federation or any of its agencies and the conduct of its affairs shall be carried out in such manner as to reflect the federal character of Nigeria and is the need to promote national unity and also to promote national loyalty, thereby ensuring that there shall be no predominance of persons from a few states or from a few ethnic or other sectional groups in that government or any of its agencies. Subsection 4 further stated that the composition of the government of a state, the local government council or any of the agencies of such government or council, and the conduct of the affairs of the government or council or such agency should be carried out in such manner as to recognize the diversity of the people within its area of authority and the need to promote a sense of belonging and loyalty among the peoples of the Federation. In the third schedule, Part 1C of the Constitution, Section 8 subsection 1 further stated that in a given effect to the provisions of Section 14 subsection 3 and 4 of this Constitution, the Constitution shall have the power to, the Commission, shall have the power to A, work out an equitable formula subject to the approval of the National Assembly for the distribution of all cadres of posts in the public service of the Federation and of the states, the armed forces of the Federation, the Nigerian Police Force, and other government security agencies, government-owned companies and the predecessors of states. B, promote monitor and enforce compliance with the principles of proportional sharing of all bureaucratic, economic, media and political force at all levels of government. And C, take such legal measures, including the prosecution of the head or staff of any ministry or government body or agency which fails to comply with any federal character principle or formula prescribed or adopted by the Commission. In the standing order of the Honorable House of Representatives, it clearly provides that there shall be a committee to be known as Committee on Federal Character at the commencement of the life of the Honorable House. 2. The committee's jurisdiction shall cover A, oversight of the Federal Character Commission, B, investigating complaints or non-compliance with the Federal Character Principle by ministries, departments and agencies and advising the Honorable House thereon, C, ensuring that the Commission complies with the function assigned to it in the Constitution, D, promoting, monitoring and ensuring compliance with the principle of proportional sharing of all posts at all levels of government, and E, ensuring that all appointments into every public company or sector of the economy or polity and the corporation reflect the federal character and its directorate and senior management cadres. Director Legal, are you aware of these provisions?
I am, sir.
Thank you. The document you have submitted.
Yes, sir.
And we made an analysis. And since the Vice-chancellor is not aware, the committee is very much aware that there is a disparity, there is there is imbalances in the distribution of manpower.
Yes, sir.
And I want to take the Vice-chancellor through so that he too will be aware.
Okay, sir.
Are you?
Yes, sir.
And from your own document that is before you, can you tell the committee how many number of staff did Benue State have in the University of Danfodiyo University? I say this is a serious business. We are now talking about the Constitution. I respect this.
Very well, sir.
Do you ever sit down and advise the Vice-chancellor on this particular matter in terms of manpower distribution in the university?
Well, sir, I will say yes, but certainly not to the present Vice-chancellor. He is relatively new into the office. But as we have appeared before the House Committee on this matter, we have advised the university on this.
Okay. Vice-chancellor, okay, open your mic. Since you insist, okay. Since you insist you want to make a history,
looking for staff to come to Uthman Danfodiyo University. There is some speciality, sir, in the university. At the moment, we are even looking for professors. In some areas, we can't even have them. We have to rely on our colleagues who have retired to bring them back to service, sir. So it's not that we...
Now let me come in, please. How many professors do you have now in the university?
Well, I don't have the head, but I know we have over 200, sir.
200?
Over 200, yes.
Over 200.
I don't have the exact number, sir.
Now 300.
Yes, about 200, sir. I can't have the exact number. I know it's over 200.
Yeah,
how much is over, I cannot say, sir.
Okay, let's take 250
yes,
professors.
Sir.
Okay, go ahead.
So, sir, I know when we started our College of Medicine some 20 years, 25 years ago, we went around the country looking for people to come to the universities. Some actually did, some have not. If we take a look at our nominal roll over the years, we see people as they grow, they go back to their state. Some years back, universities are only in some zones, not all over the state now. So people as they are getting older, they are getting back to close to their home base. Now, if you ask a professor from Ibadan, for example, to relocate to Uthman Danfodiyo University, he will just tell you, are you joking? Somebody spending about better part of his life in a particular university. You want him to 100% relocate. That's why we have this visiting and sabbatical across which they do not capture our nominal role, across the state. I say, sir, Uthman Danfodiyo University is among the most cosmopolitan university in the country. If you compare our nominal law with the nominal law of any other university, you will see this, sir. Our student populations, we are the only university, and I repeat, the only university in Nigeria that will have students each and every 774 local government in the country, sir. We are cosmopolitan. We are very proud of that. And that's why we consider ourselves as the most peaceful university in the country, because of this cosmopolitan nature. We are open to people to come. So, sir, we are not doing anything because we want to change one region, one state or another. I move around, I have been to each and every university in the country, either as a member, external examinations, assessment, or meetings, or whatever, sir. So we know it exists in the system. We are trying as much as possible, humanly possible, to see that each and every region of the country is represented at our university, because that's what gives our peace. That's why if you see our motto is the most peaceful university in the country, the most cosmopolitan university in the country. So if you check the nominal of this university, if they are not doctored, you will find something like this, sir. I've been to all the universities in the country, sir. So I know it exists. So we are doing our best, sir. We are not 100%, we are humans, sir. But within the limit of our ability, sir, we are trying our best, sir. Within the limit of our ability, sir. Break any law or to circumvent any law, sir. Nothing deliberate, sir. If there's anything, probably it should be an oversight of our part, but not because it's deliberate to say channel step. We are doing our best, sir. Thank you, sir.
While you move around across the country, go to all the universities, try to convince professors to come to the University of Sokoto, whether you achieved that or you did not, the committee focus now is about the recruitment and the distribution of staff. We believe that people came in, people move out. But as we are speaking now, the manpower strength of Uthman Danfodiyo University stand at 3,568. Those who have gone, they are not included here. Those who didn't enter the university, they are also not included here, right? We are now talking about the current existence, what is happening in the university. Now, if you take this 3,568, you minus 300, of which all of them are professors. Put them aside. We now have 3,268 remaining. The Constitution says distribution of all cadres or posts in the university, all cadres, from the messenger, the cleaner, the lecturers, non-academic, the academic and non-academic, both of them, all cadres. The Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1991 as amended, says the distribution of all cadres. So let's go by your submission. Remove the 300 number of staff who are professors. Look at the other non-academic and non-academic staff, from messenger upwards. I still ask you, do you consider this distribution or this analysis as a well-balanced distribution across the state of the federation?
Chairman, sir, with the due operation of a number of academic staff that must be in the system for the university to survive. For us to survive as a university. Failure to do that, we lose our accreditation of that program or that university by the NUC. So not all the staff, every academic staff from graduate assistant, his ambition of being a university is to become a professor. So they are all professors in the making. So for us to survive as a university, any program we have, that program must have 45% of their staff to be in professorial cadre, that professor and reader. 35% must be senior lecturers. Others that we classify from graduate assistant actually are training appointment in the university, sir. So we start from assistant lecturer, lecturer 1, lecturer 2 should not constitute more than 40% of the staff. Any program that have more than that, that program will be given either interim accreditations within which to employ the higher senior staff, or deny accreditations, the program will be closed down. We just recently rescued our geology department because we fell in that category and we lost accreditation. At the moment, for the last 1 year, we didn't admit any student in geology. This year, we are not going to admit any student in geology. And coincidentally, just before the COVID, the result of accreditation came out and we were able to. And how do we get it up? We got some staff from Bochi and from Izaria who are ready to come, the senior people, because we have the junior. So sir, there are some peculiarities. There's peculiarities in the system, sir. I'm not trying to say, that I said from the beginning, we are not denying any region, sir, of any this. But I just wanted the House to note, sir, we are not doing badly, but we are not also doing very good, as you said. I believe on that. But the question is, sir, I know we are better than all the universities in this regard in this country. I stand to be corrected, sir.
I try to make you to understand that irrespective of whether you go out choosing people to come to your university or not, whatever step you will take to employ any person into the university, you must respect the provision of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Not that you will do that. The institution must respect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And from what we have before us, or what you have submitted before the committee, Uthman Danfodiyo University is in gross violation of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria when it comes to the principle of federal character. If you insist that the university is not in violation, I will open the floor, I will allow members to make their comment, I will give you enough time to respond to their comment. At the end of the day, we will all know who is at fault. Thank you.
Mr. Vice-Chancellor, my question is that you mentioned how you employ your professors and other academic staff in the university. And you clearly stated that you were in the university for over 30 years. Vice-Chancellor, I don't know if that is the only criteria the university is following to employ their staff. Because you cannot go to the 36 states of the Federation to look for staff. There are criteria for you to make adverts. There are criteria for you to enlighten the general public that you have certain category of staff in need in the university. I don't know if that is the whole process you have been following in the university recruit, or there is any other way. And secondly, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, I think for you to even say that there is even relative balance between, for instance, 4 and 1,507. I think, even 4 is enough. This is a single digit. And for you to even say that, I think the defense is too ambiguous that one cannot even say whether the Vice-Chancellor is aware of the recruitment process, whether the Vice-Chancellor is aware of the laws read out by the chairman. To me, I am even short of words for me to, for Vice-Chancellor to say there is even relative balance between 4 and 1,500. So, Mr. Vice-Chancellor, my major concern here is that, is it the only process you follow to employ in the university? No. Then you only mentioned of that.
Vice-Chancellor, my question goes that just last week the head of service was in my committee, that is a committee for public service matters, and I just don't know, are you fully on IPPIS system? Are you fully, is the university fully? No, just it's a question inside question. Are you fully in IPPIS system?
Not fully, sir.
Not fully. Okay, you are not yet fully in the system.
You know, as to I was trying because of that, so.
Okay, not it. We will want to know whether there is any gap especially in terms of salary and funding, that you have discovered between being out of the IPPS and presently now in the IPPIS? Because why I asked this question was, I asked the head of service whether some universities got the permission to go for employment. And the reason she gave was that some of the universities are employing because, don't quote me, but she said because most of them, when they are now in the IPPI system, there is this gap in the financing. They got surplus, so they feel there is a need for them to fill the gap. So that was why they are, recruiting to just fill that gap. They absolutely don't have any approval by the government to go on that recruitment. I cited some example of some universities that are currently, undergoing recruitment exercise. So I just want to know if that applies to you. Maybe due to the gap you have discovered, you are doing some secret, recruitment to close those gaps.
When you were speaking, you mentioned that you are still even looking for certain categories of staff, especially professors, and maybe, I don't know, maybe doctors, because okay. Are you still looking for them? Do you have permission to employ? Because if that vacancy is still there, some of us can help you to get them from our states that is very low, and some other people that their states are also low. So is the vacancy still there, and do you have permission to employ?
And then from your record, can you help us check what happened to Taraba?
About 4, sir.
Then Yobe.
So now this one.
Yobe 9, sir.
Now, I just want to talk, I want you to be convinced of something. With this record and that of 1,507, no explanation, sir. I'm speaking to document before me because I never worked. And you are not under interrogation, please. You are not under any interrogation. We just want to get something clear, and I need to take something back home. Take back home to be convinced that, according to the constitution read by Mr. Chairman, and then the legal advisor there, and of course, you as a science man, this document, has your school balanced? We are not talking about equal now. Respected the federal character, number one. Number two, very last, did you carry out replacement or employment? And do you have the data, statistics of how it was carried out with you here?
That the Vice-chancellor before us had no issues while defending his professorial chair, because he seemed to be so vocal, eloquent, and very standing in seed that he make this very defense. But I see major fault in comparison, in comparing him, the university, with other universities. If other universities are in violation, is not in any way a guarantee or license for Sokoto University, Uthman Danfodiyo University to be in violation. So it is not right, and I would caution that please henceforth stop comparing your own effort with others that are in gross violation. And secondly, what we do in this committee day in, day out is to look at staff nominal roles. We are in a better position, no matter how far you have traveled, to tell you the situation in universities. It is different from probably what you have seen in the last 20 years. I will tell you, I'm from Northwest, and Kaduna is fairly represented here. But this is one of the worst case we have seen in the last 6 months. So Sokoto is not in any way doing well as far as this is concerned, and Sokoto is in gross violation. I think, Chair, since the lockdown is over, we need to make best use of this gavel that is in your front to make sure that people that are creating this time bomb are also locked down by the very spirit of the drafters of this constitution that says federal character must be respected.
My suggestion is that it's my personal opinion. I think they should send somebody who is from that place to lead us oversight function to the University of Sokoto. Because I'm thinking of, I'm worried about diminishing returns. 350 professors, not PhD holders, not PhD holders. I hope you know, you say professors, 300. Then, if we can go on oversight function to see things for ourselves, because one in the ear is all two in the ear, so that they're able to see, compare what the professor is telling us with what to see on the ground. So I suggest oversight function. And again, the number of professors can cause what I might call diminishing returns.
When you are saying no, there were no infractions, because the challenge I was having when you are making that, you are alluding to the fact that you don't think there are infractions. Let's go back to Sokoto State. And by what the chairman was reading, he says this spread will cut across the states, even the local government. Then let's take Sokoto as a case study now, where the university is situated. If a local government is having 310, 373, 170 something, and then the same local government within Sokoto is having 4. Because when you check Tureta, Tangaza has 11, Tureta has 4, Wamako has 198, Sokoto North 310, Sokoto South 373, Tambuwal 174. And up to now, they are still saying there are no infractions.
Thank you, Deputy Chairman, honorable colleagues. My name is Benjamin Carlo. I represent the good people of Nigeria, starting from Bende Federal Constituency. I'm from Abia State. Straight to the point, a lot of my colleagues have mentioned that the issue of whether you agree or you didn't agree, but I want to put it to you that the fact speaks for itself. While commending you as a reputable professor and who is well known, but when it comes to interpreting the law, it is expected that you understand the full purposive interpretation of that section of the Constitution, Section 14, with regards to federal character. That you have not done well. Trying to do the definition of fairly, equitably, or equally is sounding very academic. It's academic to say the distribution of this position is equitable. It is not, the law says equitable, but the law says fairly. And the spirit of the law there is that things should be distributed equally around the region. And if you go to the Federal Character Act, which you're supposed to have access to, there's a provision there that mandated that each state must have at least 2.5, not below 2.5% of the total employment. So, and you have employed 3,568, or a little above that, if you add the 9 and the 4 for Yobe and Taraba. And if you do 2.5%, well, you are looking at 89.2, or just call it average 89. Every state must have 89. But if you check that list, you find out that a lot of states fall below 89. The same law, the federal character law, says no state should have more than 3% of the total number. It's the law. Who didn't make it? Today. It's been existing before we came to the house. Now, if you do 3% of your 3,568 total employment, it will be giving you 107. He said no state is supposed to have more than that. But if you go through your list, you will see Sokoto 1,507, which is more in so many hundreds. You go to KB 705, which is more in so many hundreds. And a lot of them are there. Then you go to the other side, you find out that they are below 89. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to establish before you, through the eyes of the provisions of the federal character law, that there is an infraction. And the fact before us speaks for itself. So let's not continue in that line of debate, sir. With due respect, both to you as a Vice-chancellor and also your age of experience in the academic world. It is obvious that the federal character law has not been obeyed and that the distribution of the position in view of the provisions of the Constitution on federal character has not been obeyed. So let's not take that forward. There is something I want to establish here, and that is in your response to be able to tell this House, if we have, because I've seen so many video clips in so many in previous interactions that we had, where people from the academic world will always say, oh, we were not giving fair hearing. Oh, they just spoke. They attacked the chairman and said, chairman was just talking. He did not allow us to talk. But today, he has been patient. He has made his position and he allowed members to speak. And you've been speaking before now. So I want it to be clear both to the press and to yourself, and which you will accept or deny, that fair hearing has been given to you during this discussion. Having established that there is an infraction, the next thing becomes, you didn't just become aware of this now. And that was why in your comment you said, we may not have complied fully. But you see, in compliance with the law, it is either full or no compliance.
The date of employment, point of entry. Date of first appointment. Good. And from the document, if you look at page 34, I can count about more than 10 persons whose date of appointment is 2020. You see, look at serial number. No, serial number 3487. 3487, he was employed 21st February 2020. Go down to 3499. From 3499 up to 3506. The date of first appointment is all 2020, and it is during that time. Go down to serial number 3528, 3527, up to 3545. The date of first appointment is all January 2020, this year. Go down to serial number 3549 up to 3554. The date of first appointment is also February and March 2020. When you turn to next page, you discover that serial number 3565 and 3568 are all employed in 2002. One in March and the other one in June last month.
A comment that went around. I said 20 years ago when we had a problem in our College of Medicine, we advertised, no response. So we had to go around to the colleges of medicine across the country. We are given all kinds of conditions. Somebody will tell you which is right, that unless you are recruiting my wife, and His wife is working in Calabar, in Patako, for example. He's a consultant medicine. So he wants to come with his wife. We had two. When I made a reference to that, I was referring to those years. But anytime we are recruiting, we advertise. The next question, sir, is on IPPIS, EPIS, and the gap. At the moment, we cannot say because the non-teaching were captured by IPPIS when they came to the university in November. ASU, that was one of the things the ASU is on strike on this, so they are not captured. But sometime in March, there was a presidential directive that they should be given their February to March salary. We are asked to send the names of all those who are not captured, invariably meaning the academic staff, and we forwarded to the accountant general. Some have received their salary, some have not received their salary up to now. So I cannot say exactly. Last week my Vasa was in Abuja. We have about 165 who have not received their salary from February to March, some from March to April. It cut across, so at the moment we cannot say whether we have any gap or not until when everybody is captured and we see what is coming. Probably if I can throw light, the gap that some said they have, there are some peculiar allowances that were not captured by IPPIs. These allowances were agreed by the government and the unions, across both the four unions in the university, the ASU, the SANU, the NASU, and the NAT. Each one of them have one peculiar allowance or another. And these allowances are not captured in the flat form of IPPIs. So when they are paying, those allowances are not paid. So they accumulate in the system like a university have some balance. Actually, it's not balance because this money needs to be paid to the unions. So that will all be sorted out when government and also reach an agreement, and the other unions also, that's a plan. We had a CVC by Zoom today to see how we can come informally to see we can bring ASU and the government together informally. Because now we have two pandemics. We have the ASU strike pandemic and also the corona pandemic. So let's see if we can solve one while the other one we're trying to see what can be done. The one that is within our reach is the ASU and the government, and I was asked among other vice-chancellors because some of us were official of the union before, so we still have a good relationship with the union to see behind the scene. So just off record, whether we could be able to talk to the union to see if they can talk to the government, because now even to invite them to the meeting is becoming a problem. So I think we solve this problem. We can say whether there's any gap as a result of IPPIS or not. I think the problem. For new staff, as I said, I wrote to the NUC to give me permission to start 3 new programs for 2020-2021 academic sessions. I'd also asked NUC to also intimate the budget office that we are starting a new program. That's what the law says. I'm starting a program of optometry in the College of Medicine. I'm also starting another program, nutrition and dietetics in the College of Medicine, and the third one is physiotherapy. These are 3 new programs that we are starting this year, and we have written for permission, NUC have given permission to start. So we be advertising for looking for professors. We need about 7 professors in each of the 3 programs. That's because it's supposed to be 45, 35, and 30. So that we'll be looking, we'll be advertising for this to have. As I said, these 3 programs in the Northwest, I think only BUK have started. Their first graduate for optometry are graduating this year, if not of the strike. Nutrition, they have graduated the first set. They promised to give us 2 of their best students. As you are starting a new program, you have a professor, you know, he has few years to go. So you need to also have the low level that you push in for training to take over the program while it actually matures. Because for the first 3 years, you are free with the NUC, they won't see anything after giving permission. Then for the first year before they graduate, you must invite NUC, and this ratio must be fulfilled. If not, they'll still be from the program. So these are the new programs that, inshallah, God willing, we intend to start for 2020-2021 sessions. In terms of balance, of the recruitment, and I say, Chairman, I sincerely apologize. My attempt to depend on undefendable. To this, I sincerely apologize. And number of professors, as I said, I know there are over 200, and it's on the rise. I can say here, for the last council meeting we had, if we get approval, we approved a number of professors, and I know we sent some out for assessment. And if not of the corona and the strike, I'm sure we should be having another 20 to 30 new professors. What it is from the senior level in the university is senior lecturer. For you to become a senior lecturer from lecturer 1, you must have a PhD and a minimum of 3 years waiting period and a number of publications. When you have that, you need another 3 years as a senior lecturer with about 24 publications. There are what we call community service, that you must be rendering services to the community, and there's what we call effort. Work that you have done in your own field that you have not published and you have not also presented in any academic forum, then that's what you call output. Output the effort that you have done and you presented to academic forum but not yet published. All this will come together to give you enough point to move from senior lecturer with their 3 years to reader, which is associate professor, which is subject to external assessment. That you send the CV, the publications to 3 professors across the world. It can be from anywhere, any country, anywhere. Then the 3 professors will give their assessment that the document you send, the person who presents the document is fit to be a reader. If it is a reader, 2 must get positive before you award the professor or a readership. So I still stand by over 200 professors at Uthman Danfodiyo University. Some 25 years ago, Uthman Danfodiyo University was in crisis when a group emanated within the university. They called themselves G13 because they were the only 13 professors at the time. And it really actually brought the university down. And from, yes, sir.
Yes, I know, okay. You want to?
Thank you very much. Indicators. Yes, we can know their challenges. But we have some specific questions, which of course you have read out. There has not been any attempt to answer any. I mean, this academic exercise and lecturing, maybe we reduce it a little so that we take something home about specific answers to the questions. Mr. Chairman, sir.
You see, the procedure I want to become professor or senior lecturer, honestly, it is not the matter here. Go straight to the questions asked by honorable colleagues. Look at the observations. I believe you have taken them down.
I've taken them. I'm starting from.
So now this procedure, just keep it aside.
Okay, sir.
Look at the fundamental questions and answer them.
Okay, sir. So, but I don't know whether all of this are the 300 averaged.
He read from your document that one local government is having 300, one is having 100, and one is having 200. What honorable member is trying to emphasize here is the provision of the Constitution. That government should have an equal share.
That's what I say. Some local government, you don't even have people to even recruit.
But will the cleaner or the messenger must be a graduate before employing?
No, sir.
A graduate?
No, sir. You see, for cleaner, if you are in Gada, for example, far away from Sokoto, it's better to send your village than come to Sokoto and become a professor at university.
Professor,
okay. I think
sabbatical and visiting appointments are just renewal. I have not recruited anybody. They are sabbatical and visiting. Yes, sir.
Chairman asked you.
Yes, sir.
The difference between the date of first employment.
I have not recruited people. You see, any new recruitment here are renewal for either visiting or sabbatical appointments.
The last person I say, Tukur Mariam, is a medical lab scientist. Is she on sabbatical?
No, sir.
Good. It's okay. The other, the last page, the next page, you see, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is medical record officer. Medical record officer. Eh? Look at foreman. Eh? See, are they all on sabbatical? If you say a professor is on sabbatical, we can understand that. But for medical staff, for medical record officer, are they on sabbatical?
Associate, they are staff of universities to the clinic. They are on associate appointment. They are on associate appointment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just like consultant.
Is it legal?
Yes, sir. Consultant the teaching hospital. There are staff at teaching hospitals. They are all
appointment. This is how the system it is. Yes, that's also, and that's the fight between ASU and the IPPIs.
Yes. Yes. Who pays? Who pays for their salaries indicated here?
Yes.
2020. Effective this date, they are drawing their salary from where, sir?
Their appointment is annually renewed. Since February, they have not been paid. Since we started IPPS, they have not been paid. No, sir, prior to this, the university pays through the normal GIFMIS. That's what the cause of the fight between ASU and the IPPS. Because IPPS does not recognize this dual. All those visiting, all those on sabbatical have not received their salary since February because their name appears in their parent university. For this associate staff have not received their salary from the university because their name appeared in the IPPS in the teaching hospital. That is the beginning. That's what
it's okay. It's okay. I ask that, have you done any recruitment or any replacement in any whatever form? You could have said yes. You can see in 2020 we have some appointment who are on so reasons. Then the committee now will not raise this question because we are having an explanation from you. But we didn't get that. After you have committed yourself that you have not done that, and I now ask you the difference between past appointment, date of past appointment, and date of present appointment. You see, we are speaking with the document. We can only ask what we saw here in the document. We assume that we are all laymen here. You are the professor, you are the professional. So what we saw here is date of past appointment. So person was employed into your institution. And I will say you have done that employment on the so date. I think if I said this, I am not wrong.
Yes, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
That's it. So before we reach this stage, you could have explained to the committee that yes, we have employed people, but on so reasons. And this is where they were paid before, and this is the kind of explanation that the committee would like to hear from you. But not trying to defend that, saying that we...
Inshallah, we'll do our best to remedy the situation, sir. Anytime we're doing, because we know the state that are underrepresented, so anytime we're doing recruitment, we take this into consideration, sir. For the budget increase, sir, I'm not aware of any budget increase. I know when we came in, when I came in, our budget was about 6 billion. And for 2000, we sent in our 2021, and it's still around that figure, sir. So I'm not aware of anything about 8 billion, sir. I'm not aware of that, sir. Yes, sir. The next one is, okay, that's okay, because the recruitment have explained that is sabbatical and visiting, which I sincerely apologize for stages from the beginning. Probably I just thought that that's not new recruitment because they are within the system. That's why, so I'm so sorry about that, sir, for not giving the information as earlier, much earlier than when I'm responding to the question. Sorry, sir.
Yes, sir. I'm happy that finally you admitted that you are in violation. And you made it understand that, yes, the university has not done well in terms of distribution. Honorable Ismail will make a case on that, and we all agree that probably is one of the worst cases we have seen, because the ratio, the disparity, the gap is very wide that you can never say you are close to doing good. Upcoming recruitment, one, you must comply with the provision of the Constitution. You must comply with the principle of federal character in terms of sharing when it comes to recruitment. Whether you go around the whole country soliciting for people to come or not to come, you just follow the due process. People will naturally come to the university because every state has its own unemployed graduate. Most of them are your own products.
I have 5 in my house.
Then, if you advertise, I believe they will come naturally. When you follow the due process, you can take the one you want, you can discard the one you may not like at that moment. So, after this meeting, the clerk or the committee will write a letter to you, listing some recommendations of this meeting, of which we expect you to comply strictly. Thank you very much.